You want me to take a bite?
Yeah, come on. Oh God. Here, I don't know if you want some plastic there. You might get a little drip.
Oh yeah, they're. How do I eat it with the mic?
Yeah, you gotta go around the mic. Well, hold on, before you take a bite.
All right, hold on. You want to touch?
Cheers. You cheers. Cheers.
Oh, all right. We're dripping.
Yeah, you're dripping. See.
All right, welcome to another episode of Covert to Overt. I am your host, Mark Chauppetta, and today's guest is, I guess, someone that I've been seeing pop up on my social media feeds, piqued my curiosity, piques my appetite at times. So, as any good private investigator would do, I ran a whole background on him. I vetted him, found out how many children he has. No, I'm just kidding. No, I reached out to him. I asked him if he would come on to the show. So I'd like to introduce Joe Garcia, Mr. All Right Chef.
Mr. All Right Chef. It's a pleasure to be on here, Mark. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks, man. And, this whole show is about having interesting guests, whether you're a wrestler, a celebrity, an attorney, whatever it might be. I just like kind of get into the minds of people. And I will say my first impression of you is you're not fat.
Well, before we even get into any of that, I was very fat. Yeah.
So tell us about yourself. Tell us where you're from and tell the people what you do.
All right. So my name's Joe Garcia. I am, I'm 34 years old. I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
They're turning 35 this year. I'm like, oh, brutal. I'm originally from Pembroke, Massachusetts. I'm a local boy, South Shore, born and raised, my whole life. And I have always kind of been in the cooking sphere. I'm kind of like I love cooking, stuff like that. I've always been, my family, my mom's side's Italian, my dad's side Colombian. Food is like the universal language for everybody. So it's like I've always kind of been super into food. And, 2020 was like a big year for everybody. Everyone's stuck inside. And I kind of started this channel and started with a cooking show on Facebook. I just host it live in my kitchen like every Wednesday. And didn't really take off.
Right.
It was more like a mental health thing for me. It was kind of like, kind of playing it fast and loose. I'm shotgunning beers in the kitchen, just having like a little setup there. And, kind of just kept the channel going for God, what is it, 2026 now? Yeah, so like 6 years I've been kind of just posting recipes, reviews, kind of pretty much anything really on the internet. And it didn't really take off until like this year, like February. Like a close friend of my family, let me rephrase that. My wife's best friend / very close friend of mine, her mother suggested that I go. I don't know if you ever heard of the place Alfredo Aiello in Quincy.
No.
It's like a big Italian food store. They got like pasta, they got good cold cuts, stuff like that. And she was telling me for a while, like, you got to check this place out. You got to check it out. So finally I ran out of ideas. I was kind of one of those things where I kind of got in the motion of doing things, and it was I was doing the show for me. I'm talking to myself. No one's really watching it, but it was something fun to do. I ran out of ideas, and I decided to review a sandwich, and the rest, I guess they say, is history, man.
All it takes is to review one sandwich. Now, that's one of the things that piqued my interest. I'm like, all right, food influencers. Is that what you call yourself?
I really like... No. I guess, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really consider myself anything. I'm a guy who likes to eat. I like to talk. I like people, and that kind of is like the intersection of all three.
All right. So maybe it's an algorithm thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I saw your face on Facebook. I clicked on it. I was interested at a place that you went to, and now you just keep showing up. I followed you. I see other food influences, critics, whatever out there. But I'm more interested. You're 34 years old. You're the age of my children. Did you go to college?
So my entire life, I always wanted to be an engineer. Honestly and truly, I was, from a young age, I was like, I am going to be an engineer. This is what I want to do with my life. I did well in school and stuff like that. And so when I graduated high school, I went to, why am I blanking on the name in Boston? Jesus Christ. Why can I not remember the name?
So you went to the seminary.
Wentworth. Yeah. So I gave it all up. I started following God.
So you went to Wentworth, which is...
Yes. I went to Wentworth for civil engineering.
Which is a hard school to get into.
I guess so. I had pretty good grades my senior year, so school was always something that kind of came easily to me. So I did pretty well on my SATs, so I did get into the civil engineering program there. But one thing that I was never really that good at was math.
Right.
And what you find out, like your first year at Wentworth is civil engineering is all math.
Right.
So I was more into like the design of it, which I found out was architecture, and which is the most difficult program at Wentworth.
Okay.
So that's like, the workload there was like 5-6 hours a day.
Did you drop out?
So I went there for a year and I ended up dropping out. I went to Massasoit for probably another 9 months to a year. And I just really found out that college wasn't really.
So
for
school
me.
wasn't your thing.
Yeah, it really wasn't. Like I said, it was kind of like more of a discipline thing. I never really found school to be that engaging. I feel like it was just kind of like I'd shirk off work and then I'd take a test and I would ace the test every single time. Right. And that's not like that's not a brag or anything. It's just like I just didn't find it to be that difficult. So getting into college and kind of being on your own and not having your parents being like, do your homework, you're kind of free to do whatever you want. I didn't really apply myself, and that's kind of
I guess what I'm leading up to here and what I'm trying to figure out is, and I'm not trying to insult you.
No,
I didn't
please.
bring you here to insult you.
Yeah.
But being a food critic or a food influencer, is that similar to like, I don't know, doing rideshare or doing something like that? Like you can start a business yourself doing that. But
Yeah.
but how do you monetize it? Is this your full-time job now?
No.
All right,
I do have a full-time job.
All right, that's what I was curious
Yeah.
about. I'm like, this guy's making a full-time living.
Oh,
I
God,
want
I
you
wish.
in my podcast, and I want to find out how you make a full-time living off of eating Italian subs.
Honestly, if I could do that, I absolutely would. But no, I do have a full-time job.
What do you do for a living full-time?
I'm a property manager. I do commercial property management.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, right at the intersection of like, people, mechanical kind of thing. Yeah. So basically after I dropped out of college, I went to HVAC school for refrigeration and kind of spent my 20s kind of doing, tech work, and eventually kind of just stumbled into property management, which was a great thing for me. I really enjoy property management. You get to deal with people, but also, fixing things. I'm a hands-on kind of guy. That's
Right.
why the food reviewing kind of went hand in hand. It's like I like to have my hands on things. It's like
Now, is your mother still with us?
yes.
All right.
Yes,
She
is,
still
very much
cooks?
So. Yeah. Oh God. Yes.
All right.
Oh God. Yes.
So I this is just me just thinking.
Of course.
Why didn't you have her on your Facebook channel during COVID doing a father and mom cooking show?
Interesting. So my parents got divorced when I was in high school.
Okay.
So they are not together anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean you and your mom. She's the cook.
Oh, okay.
You
You
two
said-
should have been
yeah.
doing that together during COVID.
Honestly, that's kind of like we did do a few together. I've done some shows with my dad. I've done a few shows with my mom.
Is she the Italian side or?
My mom's the Italian side.
perfect.
Yeah. Where, it's like I'm a very solo person, so like being in the kitchen is like that's my dojo. That's
Right.
That's my BJJ. Like it's a solo, it's a one-on-one thing. I don't like other people being in the kitchen with me. So
Gotcha.
having to like cook with others, I don't really do that very well. It's kind of like, and maybe I learned that from her side because it's like, in on that side of the family, it's like it's mostly women. Like all the men die early,
Yeah.
So it's like mostly women, female cousins. It's like sit down and eat something.
Right.
Are you hungry? It doesn't matter if you're hungry or not. You want this, you want this, you want this, you want this until you hit the buzzword and say, finally, like, all right, I'll have some zucchini, whatever,
Right.
stuff like that.
So you're now so what do you call yourself? You don't like the term food influencer. What do you call yourself?
Honestly, I never really put much thought into it. I guess food influencer, I guess, would probably be the proper term. I hate the term foodie.
You don't like that term?
Oh, I don't know why. It just gives me like a visceral reaction. I'm just like,
Right.
ugh, foodie. Like people throw it around like it's like, oh, I'm a foodie. I'm like, that's not me.
But watching your videos and watching you crack open a sub, it makes the viewer want to eat that damn sub.
For sure.
So there's got to be a system to this. Like, did you do any homework or any research on how to do this in a certain way or choreograph it? Or is it something that you just came organically to you because of your love of food?
That's a really good question. I honestly think it was kind of, I don't want to say it was organic because, when I first started doing this, and I'm sure maybe you had the same experience, is like being on camera and being like solo on camera is like one of the most difficult and like hard to like get used to sort of things. Like sitting here in front of you, like we can have a conversation.
Right.
But when you're just like alone in yourself in front of the camera, you just sit there and just like, it's like hard because it's not a real person. So
Right.
I think that 6 years of experience really helped me to be comfortable in order to like sit there and be able to like, again, get the right angles and also like get like the words to like sit there and actually review like a sandwich. It's it sounds so dumb. It's like it makes it seem like it's like hard thing.
Is there like a sandwich boot camp, or did you go into like Rocky type training at home before you're ready to dive out into the wilderness of sub shops? Were you like making a sandwich at home, cracking it open, videotaping yourself with a tripod in your iPhone and editing it before you actually went out there where you could actually put content out for people to view?
No, I didn't. I mean, like I said, like I had the show, so
Yeah.
that was kind of like my introduction to like being on camera.
Yeah.
And then I like just editing videos and stuff over that 6-year period and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of figured out like what worked, what didn't work. But I think a lot of the time when people like start off with channels and everything, they have like their influences and everything, and they try to be those people. So I watch, like anybody, I consume a lot of social media, and a lot of that happened to be food just because of, me doing social media
Right.
food. So there was a lot of reviewers and stuff like that I would watch, and it was more so not what I liked what they were doing, but what I didn't like what they were doing. And I was like, I don't want to be like that. I want to be, a lot of people, and a lot of times because they're sponsored and stuff like that, they'll just absolutely just glaze whatever they're talking about, and then you go and try it, and it's like terrible.
Right.
I don't want to put them on blast or anything, but Phantom Gourmet, a lot of the times, it's like it's paid reviews.
Well, that's the Andelman brothers, and you pay to have them come and do a
Correct.
review.
Yeah. So I never wanted to be that person.
Right, because they were one of the first people.
Yeah.
So me being someone that likes to take the advice of others to try something different. I eat out a lot. I was going to their places, but then I started to hear whispers that their people are paying for them to go there. So I'm like, well, is it really genuine? Do they really like what they're eating, or are they just being paid to say they like what they're eating?
Yeah, so I think that like a lot of my channel was like I want to be as authentic and honest as possible, and I want to make it so people really can trust my word. That was always like a huge thing for me with like my dad growing up, is like your word is everything.
Sure.
That's the only thing that matters. If people can't trust your word, then what? You know what I mean? Who cares?
Right.
So I really wanted people to be able to trust what I was saying, because I know that I personally didn't trust a lot of what people were saying online. I'm naturally a very distrustful person. I'm like, it's like my wife gets so mad at me because she's just like, you don't believe a single thing anyone tells you. It was like,
but you can't believe anything anymore. Everything is fake. I remember, showing my twin sons a picture of a woman with 3 breasts, thinking it was real, and they're like, "Dad, that's fake." I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Whoa. So one of the things that I think you have to have the ability is like me personally. I've dabbled a lot in television. Way back when I was cast to go on Survivor.
No way. Very cool.
Well, yeah, I was close to being cast. Let me strike that. I was in the casting process. I went from like 1 million down to, probably 20 people. I was getting ready to do the psych exam, and I had an opportunity to do another television show for History Channel, and so I chose that instead.
What was the show, if you don't mind me asking?
It was a pilot that never aired.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. So I ended up having nothing. So I turned away Survivor, but I'm thinking to myself, why the heck was I going to go on Survivor? I have a nut allergy and a shellfish allergy.
Oh, no.
And I have to live on an island that's filled with shellfish and nuts.
Yeah.
So now all I'm going to eat is berries. And they're probably poisonous berries.
Poisonous, yeah. A couple of leaves. Yeah.
So being a food influencer, you have to pretty much have no allergies and have a palate that likes everything, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's kind of funny because people assume that like I like love Italian subs, like they're like the only thing that I eat, and they're like, this guy's basically made of mortadella,
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, like the mortadella's in my soul, but but if I'm being honest, like I'm actually really partial to like Vietnamese food.
Really?
Yeah. So I live in Quincy, and I feel like where you live kind of influences a lot of like what you eat, and it's a very large Asian population in Quincy, and just my whole life I love the flavor of Vietnamese cooking. It's like that like stinky,
right,
like fish saucy, like everything is fermented but also like sweet, so I really like stuff like that. And
sounds like a girl I used to date back in high school. No, I'm kidding.
Jesus. Yeah. So like my whole life, that's kind of like been my thing, like sour, bitter, stinky, like horrible. Like I just love food like that, to the point where like, my friends would always be like, bro, what are you eating? I'm like, oh, what? You don't like pickle, you don't like olive loaf, like olive loaf is the best. What do you mean? Octopus is great. So my whole life I've been really adventurous with food and kind of got like a taste for everything. So I think that's a really important thing with like food reviewing, is like you have to first of all have an open mind for everything, to be able to like because I want people to be able to trust my word for it. And so like you can't come on there and be like, oh, I only eat chicken fingers and French fries, and then try something that's a little outlandish, because you're just going to be like, this is terrible, because it's not like that. So you kind of have to really have an open mind.
But isn't tasting food, it's like Portnoy, all right? Portnoy isn't a pizza expert.
Correct.
He just has a certain type of pizza he likes. It's subjective.
For sure.
Yeah. And if it's not his style, it's screw you, you're 6.1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I self-admit that I enjoy watching him, not necessarily for his pizza review. It's usually the banter or...
it's the person.
The person doing the pizza review and what he does for small business.
Correct. Well, so that's a huge part of it, and that's kind of evolved over the past couple of months, because my original thoughts weren't the supporting of small businesses. And I came to learn that is really what it's all about through kind of trial and error. Because I started off with the Portnoy kind of like, this is a 6 out of 10. This is, the point, the splitting hairs on the 6.2, like, whatever, you know what I mean? I don't really like that part of it, but again, like seeing people that do really popular reviews like Portnoy, like I like Portnoy just as much as the next guy, but I didn't really like the splitting the hairs. And also when I started doing the like number scaling, I got eviscerated. I mean,
you getting death threats
like
over subs?
Pretty much. I mean, honestly, and that really kind of changed the trajectory of like where I was going with things, because my intention was never either to support or, put down small businesses. I was kind of just eating food that I thought was good. Mm-hmm. But, I gave a place a not so good review, and that like pushback that I got on there was kind of really eye-opening. I don't want to say the place because I don't want to put them on blast, because it is a local family business. They do a lot for the community.
What type of food?
Subs.
Subs. Okay.
Yeah. Again,
right.
we're sticking with the subs.
You're sticking with the subs.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was an Italian sub.
Yeah.
And I had some like real bangers, like real top end stuff.
Yeah.
And this one it wasn't that good. So I rated it really lowly. And the family kind of like really came at me in multiple different angles. And one of the family members like took the time to like reach out and be like, hey, this is something that can really affect a business. I know that you don't really know how much your voice is doing right now, but like people listen to you. And I was like, people listen to me?
Yeah, right.
Who the hell am I?
Right.
Like, I'm nobody. I'm just a guy on the internet eating sandwiches.
Right.
You know what I mean? But again, here I am talking to you, like just all off a sandwich. It really is crazy, honestly. Just
Was he from the mob?
Honestly, could be. These local places around here, they all left Boston. They all came down
Right.
south, so very, very well could
So
be.
did you do a redactment? Did you go back for a second sub and
I
because you can't. You got to stay true to your word and say
Correct.
this is what I said. Any news is positive news. At least you're out there. It's like that guy with the Star Wars shirt with Portnoy. With the pizza. There was one of those pizza reviews. They almost got into a fist fight on the street.
Oh, really? Jesus.
Yeah, but I'm sure it brought that much, more business to the location. But they have to also have a thick skin as well.
And that's what I agree with that. Like, and
You can't try to fight everyone.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like integrity and like what I say, like I'm gonna stand on business because that is what I think, and that's not gonna change with you yelling at me and stuff. But it is gonna change the way that I move a little bit because I don't want to drive business away from you. So I didn't redact it. I'm not going to remove the video.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change what I said because what I said still stands. But I went back and tried something else.
Okay.
That was good. I really did enjoy it. And
Okay.
it wasn't just because they said, like they were mad
So
at
what did
me.
you get the second time?
I got an eggplant sub.
You got an eggplant sub.
Yeah, and that is something, it's so funny, like eating so much food, you like learn like the nuances of things. Like there's only so many ways that you can do an Italian sandwich. There's only so many ways that you can do an eggplant parmesan, but still people find ways to make them a little bit different to stand out. And that was one of the things that they did really well. And I did enjoy it. It was like, okay, everyone told me that this was what I should get instead. Don't get the Italian, get the eggplant. And the eggplant was very good. And we smoothed it over. And, I'm cool with them now. So
right.
I think the owners kind of still hate me. Like, people tell me from time to time that they're like, they go in the stop. Like, people comment crazy stuff. I'm sure you get crazy comments all the time.
I just find this all so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like this whole, I'm old, and social media I'm really starting to understand.
Yeah.
And doing a podcast and trying to get likes and views and followers and get that dopamine high or whatever the case may be. But so some of the things like I think about is like there's a couple of other guys I follow. Like, are you guys like food influencer gangs? Like, do you have turf and territory? Like, do you guys
it's
talk
honestly,
smack with each other? Like, if you go into someone else's area and he's reviewing something and get off my turf. That's my sub place.
That's like a personal thing. It's like I have like my mortal enemies online.
Do
that
you?
I watch their stuff and I'm like, I just went there. You know what I mean? Like, how dare you? Everything like that. I'm not gonna put them on blast either because it's like they seem like really great people. It's more just like for me. It's like a bit I'm doing like between me and my wife. I'm like, I can't believe it. Like this person again. Like I saw them go to the same place that I did right after I did. How dare they?
You think that they're actually watching and stalking and going to the same place and then trying to?
I'd like to think so because self-important. I'm like, oh, my word is the law. These people saw how good that place that I went to was, so they had to, post it to their followers as well. But, I don't. I was just actually.
Have you ever gotten a fist fight with another food influencer?
I have not. I almost did in Weymouth though with some guy in Brevity's Market parking lot. It's like
Really?
People get
Did he
very
know
upset.
that you were Mr. Joe Allright?
No. I was in the parking lot taking a video, in front of the sign, and this guy's like honking his horn at me, and I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, get out of the fucking parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, dude. People get very upset. And,
So how did you come up with the name Mr. Allright Chef?
Honestly, I was just workshopping by myself, in my office. I was like, I want to start this channel. I don't really know what direction to go into. This is all from scratch. So it was like, I'm not a chef. Let's make that very clear,
Yeah.
first and foremost. Like, I don't have any accolades that would support that I am a chef. I was never professionally trained. I was never worked in a kitchen, anything like that. But I feel like that's a good title. And I was like, how do I like portray, like, you know, convey that like I'm not a chef, but I have some knowledge in the kitchen. So I was sitting there being like, the good chef, that kind of sounds stupid, you know, like the mediocre chef is kind of a mouthful, whatever. So I literally still have the piece of paper that has like all the name ideas like scribbled out on it, you know, like I'm Eminem, like writing on the train. But yeah, I ended up settling on the All Right Chef, and I was like, I think that's a pretty good, you know, a pretty good title. I think a lot of people read it as alt-right chef, so that might that might drive away some viewers. But
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. When I first saw you, I just noticed your handsome, boyish good looks, and I was nothing about the subs. And I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, he's a food critic. Shit. So I started following. No, I'm kidding. But you are a handsome young guy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, do you have to like work on your vernacular? Like I see people that talk about sandwiches like Howard Stern used to talk about a naked woman on the show.
Okay.
Like, you know, like look at the undercarriage of that bread.
Yeah.
Or look at the shape of it. Like, are there certain like key trigger food words that you guys all use?
I've been trying to like really work on my vocabulary, because it's like, you know, I don't know if you've noticed this over the years, like as you're interviewing, it's kind of like when you're having like a live thing, it's like you kind of default to your basic programming.
Absolutely.
And I find myself repeating the same thing over and over and over
I
again.
do the same thing.
Yeah. So I
don't have a large vocabulary. I took the short bus to school.
English was always a strong suit of mine. I've always liked to write, you know, read, all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's like trying to like figure out different ways to say the same thing is like, you kind of have to like really pay attention to it. That's why my wife is great with that. Like, she's just like, you said it again, you said it again, you said it again. Like, you know, you need to like when you think you're going to say this word, like pause it, take a second, and then think, like, say something else. So that's a big thing, is like, you don't want to say the same things every time. You kind of have to like be a little inventive with the language, like a Howard Stern, be like, these voluptuous meatballs are bursting out. You know what I mean? Just like,
do you do a lot of like innuendo type stuff with the subs, or do you keep it G rated?
Yeah, I try to keep it PG a little bit, like no swearing. It's, you know, it's funny, like, you said like you're old and kind of in social media. In social media years, I'm ancient. You know what I mean? So like my audience, if you look at like, you know, like metrics and stuff like that, my audience is 90% people over the age of 45. And of that, like 90%, like 60% of those are over the age of 55. So it's like, I kind of like cater to my audience. You know, you kind of have to. It's like, you know, and personally, like, I don't really find people that like sit there. There's a couple of people on social media that built their entire platform around, like, you know, they're making food, but it's very sexual, and it's and they're swearing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I kind of find it tacky.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like that sort of content, because I feel like it's low hanging fruit, where like you're gonna get views if you're rubbing a grapefruit weird.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, and it's lazy sometimes.
Yeah.
Using that type of terminology. You know, and there's kids in the room sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
But I will say, like, it is, like, for years, and I still default to it at times when I'm at home and I'm watching TV, I put on Diner, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Love that show. My kids love that show. I could just watch reruns of that show non-freaking stop.
Yeah.
And, you know, and my children and I, over the years, have looked up the places that he's gone to, and then we've gone to those places. So you're doing a service to people, to go try something, or try something new, or try a new sandwich shop or a new restaurant or something. It you know, it's like a virtual Yelp review.
Yeah. Oh God, Yelp review. Yeah. Yeah. Some people get a little pompous on the Yelp reviewing, you know, stuff like that. But.
Oh, all these people, like my wife follows South Shore Bar Pizza. And like these people that just think that they're experts on everything.
The laced edges were not as crispy as they could have been. I needed a little bit blackness on the edge. Like, bro, was it crunchy? Was it a bar pizza? Like, it
you
was
need to
probably
start a
pretty good.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
To be an expert like yourself.
Yeah. I do have a YouTube channel.
now take me through walking into a sub shop, for instance. Do you have like a food badge? Do you just say, "Hi, I'm Joe, Mr. All Right Chef"? I'd like to review one of your sandwiches. Do you let them know you're reviewing it? Do you ask for a free sandwich? Do you get free sandwiches? How do you do it?
So I'm no, like, I just personally, I'm just like, I'm nobody. I'm just
No,
a
you
guy.
are. You're getting
know?
a presence out there. You're getting followers. So people are starting to recognize you.
Yeah, so that's actually been the super weird part. But my whole thing is like, I don't want them to like be giving me something based on the fact that they know who I am. I just want to be a random customer off the street, because that's how you're going to get the most authentic food review. Because if they're making it special for me, then the person who watches the video and comes in and is like, I want the same thing he got, and he gets something different, that's bad on me. You know what I mean? So
That's a great point, because I notice that all the time. And when I watch these, I say to myself, or I think to myself, well, they went in there, so they sliced a little extra provolone and, a little extra prosciutto.
Yeah.
And the sandwich looks a little fuller than how I remembered it when I've gotten it.
Yeah, so I really, as much as I can, avoid that. Like, some places I'll go back in twice. They'll recognize me the second time, but most places, like, I'm not that popular, by far. And maybe I just am underestimating it.
Yeah, you're popular.
Yeah.
I follow you.
Hey, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Not that I'm anybody, but all right. So you go into a place, you buy it on your own dime, right?
Correct, yep.
All right. Do you have a daily caloric intake when you go to places?
I really try not to eat more than a quarter of a sub.
What do you do with the rest of it?
My wife gets half, and then I'll usually either give it away or I'll eat it like the next day or something like that. So
Do you have children?
I do not have kids, no. Just cats, and they don't eat Italian sandwiches.
Does your wife work out?
No comment.
Keep feed. It's like every time I come home with a pizza, my wife's like, "Are you serious? Do you want me to get heavy?"
Yeah.
You just keep bringing home half a subs.
Yeah, well, you should see my fridge sometimes. It's like there's like 6 or 7 half subs in there, and I'm just like, I personally cannot eat this amount of food, And people are like, that's a big question I get, is people are like, how are you not like 3,000 pounds? And it's like, well, I used to be really fat, so it took me a long time.
Take me back to your fat days. Tell us what happened.
Okay, well, so
you look pretty lean right here.
Thank you. I really appreciate
Yeah.
that. It's as
Doing
I'm
the
sure
shot?
you know. We'll get into that.
All right.
So like high school, I was, I always thought that I was like really big. I was like 160, but
You were a
I'm
wrestler.
short. I'm a short kid.
Yeah.
So I wrestled at 160 starting, then I went up to 171, and then I finished at 189.
Yeah. But that's normal.
I'm a short guy. 189, very competitive weight class for tall guys, jacked guys. So I wasn't very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure in BJJ, that's
Yeah.
a tough weight class,
Yeah.
And then kind of, college years, whatever, I just kind of really ballooned up.
Put on the, what is it called? My
freshman
my-
15.
My producer off cameras in college. I keep checking his weight. He's a junior now, so that's I think he already put on his freshman 15.
Oh, there you go. Freshman 15, junior. For me, it was like freshman
So you
like
put
70.
you put on some size, and then because you like to eat.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. And it's kind of one of those things, a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people can, relate to this, is like, I hated the way I looked.
Yeah.
It was like, you kind of like look in the mirror and you're like, man, what happened?
Right.
Stuff like that. So I think, and that really was a while for me.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of body image issues for like a really long time. And then in the past like 4 years, I'd say I've really kind of tightened it up a little bit, started going into the gym,
Nice.
and then
you become a huge sub influencer. Like
That
talk
was-
about like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
You're losing weight, but you're eating more subs.
Yeah, so I like 2 years ago was when I tried the Ozempic.
Yeah.
Got on that, lost a decent amount of weight
Good.
like that, but that stuff's terrible for you.
Yeah, you
or
don't-
maybe it's not.
Well, you're
we don't
young,
know,
and you're young, and you have a whole life ahead of you. So and it works for some. And I'm not by any means body shaming. Whatever. Be what you want to be. But we do live in a country of processed foods and bad food, and I can tell you personally, I stress eat a lot, a lot. And when my go-to with stress eating is a large meatball sub with diced pickles. do it all.
Everyone loves the pickles on the
You know
meatball
what?
sub.
Yeah.
I've never tried it.
You've never done the pickles
I've
on a
never done
sub,
the pickles on the meatball sub.
but you got to do the diced pickles on the sub.
Interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're going sub galley for the best diced
Sub
pickles.
galley,
Yeah.
best meatball subs, diced pickles on it. This show's national, but if you ever make it to Massachusetts, in Abington, Mass, Sub Gallery, I've been going there since the early 70s.
Wow.
With my parents. Like, I was born in the 60s, but my parents, that's where we'd get our subs. I crushed one last week because I was depressed. And they're the only place around that also sells potato sticks. And I love
Like the little crispy, like
the
potato
little
sticks?
sticks. They're like
Yeah.
little, like the old, they used to come in a, you probably don't remember, you're too young. They used to come in a can.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not
Okay.
too young for that. I used
So
to.
you just kinda-
You just literally
Yeah.
shovel those. Oh yeah.
So I was like, I crushed a meatball sub. I'm eating potato sticks. It's all over my shirt because I'm Italian and I'm a slob.
I can't even tell you how many shirts.
So yeah, I do that often. But then what I do is I just work out like a madman. So it's calories in, calories out. And that's probably not a healthy way to live, especially when you get older.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of you, man. That you're doing good. So do you sometimes like just kind of chew it and then spit it out, or do you?
I've never done that, but
No?
I kind of became a little bit obsessed with it. It's easy to go one way, it's easy
Yeah.
to go the other way as well. When you get like hyper disciplined with it, where it's like, kind of get really like obsessive about it.
Right.
So I've been trying to medium ground it now, but like, once you change your lifestyle,
Yeah.
like. And then you change your lifestyle, you really try to get away from it, and then now I'm back on the Italian subs. It's like, so I really have to count the calories. So it's like, it's hard to guess what you're eating for Italian subs, but I really, it's discipline. People are like, how do you do it? It's like, there's no secret ingredient, dude.
No.
There really isn't. You just have to do the work.
Well, how many reviews a day are you doing typically? So you're working your job.
Yep.
And then do you go grab something on a lunch break and do a review, and then maybe do something at dinner time, or?
So usually it's like places that are close to like where I work. I'll usually drive like on my lunch break. I'll go and do a review, but a lot of the times it ends up being weekends and stuff like that. I try to post 6 days a week, and then I take one day off to like either go to places or just take one day off to like not go anywhere. But I'll usually do 3 reviews a week. So whether that means I actually do 3 reviews a week, sometimes I'll do 5, but I only put out 3 videos just to have a little bit for like next week, something like that. So like this past week I've been on vacation, so I've done like 7 or 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the lobster roll train right now. So lobster roll.
See again, I have a shellfish allergy. I can't do lobster roll.
So brutal.
The $1 million question: how do you have you gotten to the point where you're monetizing anything?
Yes. So
How does that work?
So on Facebook, Facebook's kind of I don't want to say the easiest to monetize, but Facebook has the lowest requirements to entry. So Facebook started first where I started making money, and it was like $1 or $2, every like 2 months. But I wouldn't even meet the minimum threshold for them to pay you out for like 3
Not
or
enough
4
to buy
months.
half a sub at that point.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like based solely on views. And then other places like TikTok and stuff like that, where there's a much higher barrier. Like TikTok, you have to have at least 10,000 followers to enter the creator program. And then even still, like even in the creator program, you need to have a lot of views. So I think I got like 250,000 views in like a 2 or 3 week period. And that was like $8 or $9.
Really? That's it?
Yeah, really. Because
All
it's
right,
so saturated.
So you're not quitting your day job yet?
Definitely not. And people I think a lot of people assume automatically that like when you're on social media that you're making millions of dollars. Like, oh, this guy's so popular, he's making a ton of money. It's like 100%, 180% of what I'm making is what I'm spending. Because at the end of the month, I like to give it all away.
Right.
This wasn't something that I wanted to do for the money. It's not about the money for me because I have a full-time job. I get paid well. I don't care. That doesn't bother me.
But let's face it, if it can continue to spiral, have you put together a business plan when it comes to your food reviews to try to take it to the next level?
Yeah.
Like,
So
where
I
do you see yourself in the future of food reviews?
Honestly, I haven't really I'm like still in like the beginning stages of it, so it's kind of like the excitement of like
So I
being
got
popular.
you before you become like really food famous.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you got a local celebrity. People in BJ's recognize me, so I don't want to brag, but a guy in BJ's was like, "You're the sub guy," So that's kind of funny.
Have you made T-shirts yet?
I do have T-shirts.
Do you wear them in when you to identify yourself? Is that
usually not?
so? You're going like so you could take some tips from me as a licensed PI about how to really go undercover when it comes to getting a sub.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do is I change my beard up a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, that's like if there's one thing about me that I have like the eras of like my different facial hair, and that's something I just constantly am changing up. Like I usually do the mustache, but now I'm doing the mustache and beard. Sometimes for like the 4th of July, I'll do like the full connection, the Martin Van Buren, I'll do stuff like that. So incognito, I got the costumes, I'm a big costume guy,
So is this just a fad, or you see yourself doing this continuously throughout?
I think I see myself doing it continuously. I mean,
You gonna go to salads eventually?
God, I probably should, honestly. See the trends. I think it's kind of funny because like food reviews are like a big trend now, I feel like, but I wasn't doing it to be like part of the trend. I was just doing it to like really, now it's like really to showcase local things. Like I'm a South Shore boy, born and raised. I'm ride or die South Shore.
Same here, brother. So there's another guy.
Okay.
I won't mention his name. I also follow him. He's, I think, a Fall River-based guy.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about, right? He's got kind of longer hair.
Potentially.
He's got longer hair.
Okay.
And I kind of like, and he goes with his wife and his daughter a lot, and they eat at restaurants.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty interesting. And I see him traveling around the country now.
Yeah.
Like going to different states. So like I've also done promotion in life, MMA, wrestling, and I was kind of thinking before I met you, like if we put together like a charity boxing match with the two of you, now I think you could take them because you got a wrestling pedigree.
I would 100% do that. I'll put that on the record right now.
Yeah.
I'll go to camp, dude. I've been
food,
wanting to
like
for
a
while.
food influencer, tough man.
Yeah.
We'll call it the sub man.
Yeah. The tough subber instead of the tough mutter, something like that.
And I don't know what the holy grail will be, but
yeah, that would be so funny. I watch his videos. He's one of the few people that I do follow.
Yeah.
I think he's a really nice guy. He
he
seems
seems
like real down to earth, and he's super popular. I mean, he gets like, thousands of dollars.
He strikes me as, maybe your competition around here.
I never really see it that way because I think he does a lot of North Shore places.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And he's crept down to the South Shore.
Yeah.
And that's when I was going to reach out to you and be like, hey,
that's my
this
territory.
Guy's coming down to your turf.
Yeah. Maybe I'm going to have to have some words with him and be like, listen, buddy, with your long hair.
Yeah, right? Let's go.
Yeah. You have to fight me for these South Shore places. But no, there's so many places, you know what I mean? There's so many places that it's like, it's easy to not overlap. And I was actually just saying to the other Garcia in the booth over there, it's like, there's places that people already know are good.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the North Shore. I don't want to go to Boston because everybody already knows that these places are good. Yeah. Monica's Mercado, Bova Bakery, Mike's Pastry, like all these places. Like everybody knows that they're already good. They're famous for being great.
Right.
I don't want to go to those places. I want to showcase the places that are like less traveled.
So give us some of your hidden gems. That people that are listening that are from this area would like to go to.
Okay. First one I'll plug right now is Rosa's Food Shop in Easton. Rosa is, first of all, like one of the nicest women you've ever met.
I saw you there,
and
I'm not too far from there. I'm gonna have to try it.
You really should.
Yeah.
So the one thing is she closes down for the summer.
I saw that.
And so she doesn't open back again until September. But not only is she like a great conversationalist, she's such just like really, really salt of the earth folk. Her whole family, really nice people. All right. And like, a big comment I get is people are like, oh, Italian subs are terrible for you. This is bad for you. And it's like, okay, all right, obviously deli meat is not the greatest thing for you, but like when you go into Rosa's Food Shop, she handpicks all of the meat in Italy. It's all imported.
Oh, I'm
she
going in
talks to all the people like
All right.
she gets it imported.
You sold
All the
me.
cheeses. She has a degree in cheese. She knows her cheeses.
Well,
These are low sodium.
She knows how to cut that cheese.
She knows how to cut that cheese. All the pickles she makes them.
Oh.
She wins all the awards at Marshfield
my
Fair
God.
for her pickled goods.
I have a pickle family.
Yeah.
Meaning all my kids love pickles.
Me too.
Like I just love pickles.
Yeah.
Although I did recently buy the pickle juice drink. It's like a Gatorade.
Okay.
It was kind of nasty.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right. So give me number 2.
Number 2 hidden gem, I'd say, is Sophie's Italian food in East Bridgewater.
All right. Sophie's. I have spent a fortune in there. I was driving by that place numerous times saying, I never see cars there. I hope they're doing good. Then I see the local police post something. They were smart enough to do a delivery to the police station and talk about and donate food.
Love
I
that.
now go in there 3 times a week.
Okay.
I buy chicken cutlet. My wife loves the deep dish square pizza. They're straight off the boat from Italy.
Yep.
The owners, and they're little nonas in the back cooking.
Yeah.
Like amazing place. All right, number 3.
Number three is tough, but I gotta shout out Mignosa's in Quincy.
Okay.
They are just like, first of all, again, I say this a lot, like it's about the people a lot of the time. Like it's not just about the food sometimes, it's about the experience.
Yeah.
And when you go in there, Bill and Cindy are just like such nice people. And it's just like, they make you feel like your family when you walk in there. And I just like love that about that, because like my whole life growing up, everybody in my life was family.
Yeah.
My grandparents,
Same
like
here.
you go to my grandparents, you're Italian, you get it. Like my grandparents, like
Sunday dinners. I make
revolving
my
door.
kids get together. You
Love
know?
that. Loved it. Make the. Do you think it's a sauce or gravy? What do you call it?
Oh God, yeah. I know. I saw someone online having that debate. I grew up calling it sauce.
Okay.
They say sauce. If you put a fork in it, it goes straight through. If it's gravy, it sticks to the fork. I don't know. You know who I heard talking about it? So a friend of mine was on The Sopranos.
Love
and
that.
he's a big Italian guy. And I hear Steve Chauppetta talk about it all the time, about sauce and gravy. And he actually had his own tomato sauce out for a while.
Love that.
All right, so one more, and then we're gonna wrap up. But I have a gift for you, which I don't think you want because you already said you're sick of them. But give me one more place.
One more place. Are we going Italian subs, or are we gonna?
Yeah, go Italian sub.
Go Italian sub. I'd probably have to say Italian Kitchen in Brockton.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really
Interesting.
liked their Italian sub
Really?
there.
Okay.
The CM Petty one was good too. I see you got the shirt on there.
We're
Their
going to
meatballs-
talk about them in a second.
Yeah.
All right, so the Italian Kitchen. I've been eating there for 35 years.
Wow. Okay.
So I've had my detective agency in Brockton forever.
Love that.
Italian Kitchen was a mainstay. It was kind of part of the group that all us investigators, lawyers, judges, we'd all hang out at. Covert kind of threw it off.
Yeah.
Cape Cod, the owners sold it to Cape Cod Cafe.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
But they're still great. I go in there and I get the meatball plate at least 3 times a month. And that's 3 meatballs and a salad.
Meatballs are good.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Before we wrap up, first I want to say you're an awesome guy. You got a great personality. I can see why people like you. I can see why you're going to be successful when it comes to anything in life, being a food critic. Whatever, you just seem like a good dude. You're genuine.
I appreciate that.
You know why? Because you're a freaking wrestler. And us wrestlers
It
stick
humbles
together.
you. It humbles you, man.
Yeah, I wrestled in the 80s. You wrestled in the 2000s. But what's it matter? All right, so Petty's Market. And I'm making this a little bit more localized now for a show. But I've been going to Petty's Market for probably 15 years every Wednesday to get chicken cutlet.
Love that.
I know the girls. They love me. It's family in there to me.
I'll shout her out. I can't remember her name, but the girl who wears the fairy wings
Yeah.
at Petty's Market.
Yeah, it's Emma. She's
Emma.
awesome.
Emma. Lovely.
All right,
Lovely.
So I brought a sub from there. All right, here.
Love
All
it.
right.
Oh,
All right.
thank you
That's
so
for you.
much. Check
That's a
this
gift.
out.
You want to open it up and show me how you fondle it?
All right. This is an Italian.
It's an Italian.
All right,
I
so-
should have got you a meatball.
That's
You
okay.
know, I didn't know that you were just kind of sick of.
No. I haven't had a meatball. I haven't had an Italian sub in a while because I've been
All
doing
right.
the lobster rolls.
All right. So I just want to see how you.
All right.
How you.
So we're
do
gonna
it.
open it up. Wow. All right. So the number one thing I'm looking for when I get an Italian sub, right? The wetness. That's a huge thing with a sub that a lot of people don't think about. Is like how wet the sub is. This thing is dripping.
Okay.
And it's going to soak up the bread and everything like that, but that's okay. First things first, you crack it. You get the two-handed view. You get it in the camera. Check it out. You get the cross-section there. You can see everything that's going on, and you can see the drip.
Yeah.
Huge thing. I've ruined so many shirts because of this. You know?
Grease stains.
Yeah, I'm in my car. I got shout out my lovely wife. She bought me one of those like tables that you like hook onto your steering wheel for this exact reason because I always had it on my lap. I'd be ruining pants.
Now, is that a good bread to meat ratio?
So you look on there, you look at the bread to meat ratio. And so what I'm looking for here really is the quality of the mortadella. That's so important. An Italian sub, it has to have mortadella.
Yeah.
If it has ham instead of mortadella, I'm sorry. It's not right. It's just not right. And this is good quality mortadella. You can see when you can see the little fat bubbles on there and you can see the peppercorns, you know it's good quality mortadella. You know, the highest quality, they get the what are the green nuts called? Pistachio mortadella. That's obviously like a super high quality import. The bread's super important as well. This is a knife soft bread. I'm a baby. I got this soft mouth.
Yeah.
I can't be chewing on rock hard, bread and stuff like that. But I think a lot of people would complain about how there's too much bread on the petty Italian. But to me, like, this is a classic Italian. Like, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to have 3 pounds of meat on an Italian sandwich.
So I like a nice, soft, warm,
I like a
wet roll.
Not soggy though.
Not soggy, but just enough wetness.
Yeah, and like I like lettuce on my Italian. I think that's a big thing in my videos.
Diced tomatoes or regular tomatoes?
I like both, but I personally like a sliced tomato. I think that when you get so many chopped ingredients, when you take that first bite of the sub, half the chopped ingredients fall out the back. Yeah, not really a huge fan of that, but. I think CM Petty, like, listen, they've been around for 112 years. Like,
they've been around since, I think, 1913. Rocky Marciano was frequented there. Great family, great Italian market, kind of surrounded by the decay of Brockton, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That kind of still sits there, and it's a gem. And me personally, I like going in there because I'm kind of the norm of Wednesday chicken cutlet day.
Yeah.
And they just know what I want. I
love that.
I usually get, I'm weird. I get chicken cutlet with diced tomatoes and diced pickles in usually a wrap, or I get it on a salad. I like their meatloaf sandwich. I like their meatballs. Everything's good there. I was so bummed out last year. I forget sometimes that sub shops closed down during the 4th of July week. I went in there to get my chicken cutlet during the 4th of July. I'm like, they're on vacation. So
that's a big thing with sub places. Like, I go to review some places, and they're not open Mondays, they're not open Tuesdays, they're not open Wednesdays.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
I know. Well, all right. Anyways,
you want to split this with me? You want to take a bite?
We'll give it to you. Can take a bite and then give a half to someone else.
You don't want half?
I don't want any of it, but I ate earlier. But
killer. Well, Max, you want
me to take a bite?
Yeah, come on. Oh God. Here, I don't know if you want some plastic there. You might get a little drip.
Oh yeah, they're. How do I eat it with the mic?
Yeah, you gotta go around the mic. Well, hold on, before you take a bite.
All right, hold on. You want to touch?
Cheers. You cheers it. You cheers. Oh,
all right. We're dripping.
Yeah, you're dripping. See, there you go.
I'm going over it. Oh, napkin. There we go. Wow. That was a good sub.
I took a huge bite.
Yeah. That was the bread's so fresh still.
Bread's so fresh.
Oh. All right. Well,
this is a classic Italian. When you're thinking in your head Italian sandwich or Italian sub, this is what you're thinking of. And that's why it's good. It doesn't have to have the bells and whistles. It doesn't have to have the homemade this, homemade that, handmade bread. It can be something that's simple and still just be exactly what you're looking for. And that's how I feel about CM Petty.
Well, Joe, Mr. All Right Chef, our producer's going to put up all your information on this podcast. And it was a pleasure having you, man. You're a lot of fun.
It was a pleasure doing this. I would love to do this again. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.